This is something I've wanted for most of my life. Yet, here I am, after a long while, back to discuss more stuff that makes me worried about Nintendo. Now, I've been wanting to share my thoughts on this for a while, and as you can see using the mice of yours, it's about the Mario movie. This can go so wrong, and I don't want to live through that. No sir. Yes, the visuals look amazing, and most of the voices even fit. That includes Mario himself, although some might say that the French actor did a better job recapturing Charles' vibe.
Royaume champignon, nous voilà!
Which, fine I guess, but still, Chris Pratt does a good job. I mean, be grateful, the voice could have been more like the IRL portions of the Super Mario Super Show.
If you're not watching the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, you're gonna turn into a Goomba!
Regardless, I'm here to discuss my nightmare scenario regarding this movie. Something so awful I pray to God himself not to make it come true. And before I say this, don't hate me. Hear me out, somewhat at least. I do not want this movie to be a Disney movie. Or rather, I don't want this to be a typical American 3D animated movie. And you might ask yourself what I mean when I say that. And that's a fair question. Just gonna put this out in the open. I am not a big fan of modern 3D animated movies, specifically American ones. And that has nothing to do with it being American itself, just the typical style they are directed in. It's not the stories that's the problem, but how they are presented. I am a weeb guy, anime flows through my veins. And comparing Western 3D animation to anime is something I really aren't the most qualified to do. I'm sure you can find loads of better videos for that here on YouTube. With that said, let's get into things. After looking over the trailer multiple times, I noticed my first red flag of Western 3D animation. And that is the use of an unnecessary amount of screaming. Now, I fully understand this might just be me that feels this way, but let me try and explain myself. This first clip with Mario taking in the frankly beautiful world is almost immediately interrupted by this toad literally screaming his lungs out over what I assume to be for comedic value.
Do not touch that mushroom, you'll die! Oh, I'm sorry. That one's perfectly fine.
Now, I might be crazy, but I don't find anyone screaming at me without any context to be fun. I mean, it just hurts my ears, similar to jump scares in horror games. Although there, at least, it's a given you most often die along with them. Whereas here, Toad just feels like screaming at my face. Screams like this can and should be used, of course, in dangerous situations and whatnot. But the overuse of them, as seen in many American 3D movies, again for comedic value I guess, is so old for me and takes away much of the Mario vibes I expect. For now though, this is the only scene I noticed it in, but I mean the trailer is only 2.5 minutes long, so who knows how much more there can be in the full movie. Secondly, a thing that might just be a trailer worry for me is that I didn't notice a lot of actual Mario music aside from the logo reveal. Instead, opting for a generic epic soundtrack that's so forgettable you could put in almost any other Pixar or Disney movie and you wouldn't notice. I'll summarize this by saying, if I want to watch a movie or a series about a video game franchise, then I also want to listen to the music of that given franchise. Probably my most worrisome point here, saved for last of course, is that I don't want to see any kind of singing or random memes in this movie. Absolutely not. It was bad enough seeing Sonic flossing. I know singing is kind of a staple of the Disney movies, and that's fine I guess, but I hope to God Illumination does not bring any of that over. I don't need to see a random Toad or Kamek or anyone else go around singing and then having more and more characters join in. Part of the reason I adore anime so much, or at least the types I like, such as One Piece, The Promised Neverland, or Hunter x Hunter, is that the story is the driving factor. While comedic moments exist and are plentiful in cases like One Piece, there is always a serious story full of drama and emotional moments to fall back on. What I'm getting at is that I hope the Mario movie does not go for the most basic story and then fill out the rest of the movie with jokes and such that only really will be funny one time at best. Now, to be fair, Mario is more for everyone, whereas most anime I like are more for mature audiences, which is fine. I'm not gonna give the movie slack for having a target audience, but what I am gonna criticize is if they go all lazy with stuff that actually matters, such as the story again. A little scary for me is that Miyamoto, famous for disliking stories in Mario games, is the leading role here for the movie. Now, I hope I explained myself as clearly as I could. And if you can see things my way, then nice. But if you can't, then also nice. Maybe it's just me in the end that cares about this kind of stuff, but whatever the case, I'm happy you took the time to listen. With that said, thank you for watching. Leave a comment and a like for more videos like this one. Have a good one.